Allie thinks she's always right. That's peed on. Coach Greg and I am here to do my second Q&A on the new home setup. I'm pumped with the new home setup. It's going well with the new home setup. Okay, gonna answer some questions. Some of them are entertaining, some are just stupid. Gonna do the best to answer all your questions. Teres Kirander wants to basically know, who would I like to look like, dead or alive? Could be anyone, like wrestler, anybody, and like what body parts would I like to have on these people? And how tall would I? So he wants to know a lot of questions, so let me just think about this.
2 very boring minutes later.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so I would like to be as tall as I could possibly be. Okay, so let's go with 7 feet tall. I would like to be hugely tall, massively tall. I would like to play in the NBA basketball, but I'm not tall enough. So I think if I was 7 feet tall, I'd have a chance. Body parts, I would say I would like to have Arnold Schwarzenegger's chest in his prime. That would be great. I'd like to have Chris Bumstead's waistline, the smallness of that, with the X-frame of Chris Bumstead. Honestly, Arnold Schwarzenegger would be fantastic. Not just his chest, but his arms, his back, like really, I mean, I would pick anyone's back that's better than mine. There's a lot. Pretty much any pro bodybuilder that's really good in the Olympia, I would pick their body parts on almost everything. Anyone that's better than mine. So I'm not greedy. I don't need to be the best in the world. I just would like to be better than I am right now. So I don't know. It would look weird if I had like Arnold Schwarzenegger's arms on me right now. They would be too big for my body. So really, I would just pick my body with a smaller waist, shrink it down, and just be a little bit bigger everywhere if I could just snap my fingers and do it. I would also pick to be leaner, but I don't want to suffer on a diet to maintain leaner than I am. It's not worth it. I would love to be 5% body fat year round. You know, visually, I like that look. I just can't maintain it from a health standpoint. Even with my cookbook, I can't maintain 5% body fat. I wouldn't have enough energy. Lil Wang wants to know, when's that Gymshark sponsorship coming in? Your hair is long enough. I know, like, really, why hasn't Gymshark written me and offered me a contract yet? I don't understand. I don't get it. It's been growing. My subscribers are growing. I don't know what I need to do. Maybe they'll write me after this video. Who knows? We will see. It's long, but it's not cool enough. I need the coolness too. You can't just have long, it has to be long and cool. I mean, after all, Philion's hair is really long.
This video is sponsored by Adam and Eve.
But he's not sponsored by Gymshark yet either. So there's something more to it than just the length of the hair. You need something else to go with it. Maybe I'm too old. Mijaji, are you going to continue the series of 3 best exercises and 3 worst? I want to see the legs and back. Yes, I'm in fact going to do the entire body. It's a series. It just takes time. It takes time to do all these. I can't just do them, especially with all the moving and the craziness that's going on and how many coaching plans I have to do. You guys have no idea. I'm also going to be releasing a training book. It's coming soon. It's almost done. Do you know how many hours it takes to make sure that you guys are not going to be upset when I have too many spelling mistakes in there, that I use the right language, that I include the right quotes, that I do everything? The training manual is going to be 100 pages long. It's going to be for everybody, beginner, intermediate. It's not for everybody. It's going to be for like 99% of people. It's not for pro bodybuilders. It's not for the super duper advanced crazy. You guys aren't going to follow my freaking plans anyway because you think you know more than me anyway. It's for everybody else who doesn't think they know more than me. Samurai Hadra, why do you always fall asleep in Ali's Instagram stories? Well, I'm not actually aware that I've always fallen asleep because I'm asleep. So I can't really comment on it, but I do have narcolepsy, so that makes you fall asleep a lot. And I would say it's a biased sample. I would say that Allie is cherry picking moments when I'm asleep to record them. She probably could record me all the time when I'm awake, but I'm probably a lot more interesting asleep than awake. Unfortunately for Allie, she probably likes me better asleep, except for if I'm snoring. When you and Allie have arguments, does she get frustrated that you're right 99.3% of the time? So this is literally what happens. Allie thinks she's always right. That's peed on.
I think.
Notice where it is.
I don't.
She tells me, oh, by the way, don't use that. It's peed on.
I think.
Unfortunately, I am now up to 99.4. Sometimes it's 99.5. It's titter-tottering on those two percentiles. What would you expect me to do? I'm going to clean my hands with it. It's what I do.
I was wiping their feet when it was raining yesterday. It was on the floor.
So you leave peed on stuff on the floor at least. You don't put a friggin' towel right there.
Where do the towels go?
So I'm right 99.5% of the time, let's call it. Allie thinks she's right 100% of the time. There's towels all over the place.
This is where the towels go for now.
Yeah, and then now what happens? I clean my hand and it goes here.
No,
and then later I'll grab it.
That's your problem.
But I'm right 99.5, and so when we have a debate, she thinks she's right because she thinks she's always right, even though I prove she's not right.
It hangs back
So I'm
up.
supposed to assume that peed on towels are anything not on a rack.
You're supposed to only touch
There's
the
no
towels
way it's
that are on the
normal
rack.
behavior to put peed on rags on a countertop.
It's on a paper towel.
I, however, am very gifted in mathematics. Allie is not good at math at all. Okay, so the problem lies in the fact that Allie doesn't understand math. So it's like arguing with a 6-year-old. You can't win because they don't understand the logic you're presenting. 99.5% of the time I'm right. There's no way this is one of those times I'm wrong. Peed on towels, or potentially peed on towels, should be on the floor in a basket, and my suggestion was the garbage. It's like arguing with Jeremy Ethier. He doesn't understand the research papers that he's reading, and he changes everything around. But when I present him a fact that goes against what he says, he doesn't really get it because he's like, well, the study said this, and he thinks it makes sense, but yet it doesn't, and I prove it beyond question that it doesn't make sense, but yet he still does the same mistakes. So it's like that with Allie. It's like me and Jeremy Ethier. I don't know what to do other than to explain it like that. She's still debating this with me. She's like, well, it was on the floor and I didn't want it to wreck the hardwood floor, so I had to put it up somewhere.
Babe, I worked until 1 in the morning.
She worked late, still. I mean, if you work that many hours where you think that
I didn't have time.
peed on, or even potentially peed on wet rags, should go on the countertop next to my Ninja blender. Adam Juvia wants to know, are you considering doing an ad or not on Johnny Sin's video? It's what everyone is waiting for. Well, I don't know if everyone's waiting for it. That's a stretch. There are 181 likes to that question. That's a lot. And I am considering it, yes. As in, I would like to do it at some point. Not today. At some point, I likely will do it. David Anderson wants to know, when do you fit in bicycling? I feel like it can interfere with leg recovery. Of course it's going to interfere with it. Same as when people think that they can run and bike and weightlift and do all this massive amounts of cardio and just grow and it doesn't matter, just because some guy on YouTube does, and pretend that they're natural on top of it. No, I used to do triathlons and I used to weightlift and do bodybuilding at the same time, all of these things. I added muscle, yes, of course. I was a freaking teenager. What teenager doesn't add muscle? It's so easy when you're starting. Newbie gains, it exists, it's a real thing. Then you get older. Then I stopped doing the triathlons and the muscles started to go on a bit easier because I wasn't doing so much cardio. How much muscle do you think I'm putting on when I'm riding my bike 500 kilometers a week, which I was doing? 500 kilometers. That's over 300 miles, okay? It's a lot of riding, and it interfered with recovery, of course. Right now, I'm doing a bike race in a little bit, and I rode like 70 kilometers a couple days ago. So what do? I do the same thing as I would without the bike riding, only a couple less sets than I would have. A couple less sets. Does it interfere? I'm not 100% fresh all the time. When I bike ride, I don't always feel powerful on the bike. When I bike ride the day after leg day, I don't have the same power, okay? And when I weightlift the day after bikes, I don't have the same power either. But often what I'll do is I always will do the weights first. The weights is more important to keep muscle. Then the bike riding I can do after. If you're only going at a moderate pace, it's not bad. It's not hard. It's moderate. When you go harder than last time all the time, like I do, and race and try to win, and you're going all out, you're not going to recover as much. You can't. So I accept the fact that my legs are smaller right now than they would be if I wasn't bike riding. People are like, oh, you have such big legs because you bike ride. No, they are smaller because I bike ride. They are. If I gave up the biking and just did the weightlifting, I would be bigger than I am right now. It is holding me back size-wise, but I don't freaking care. I'm happy with my size. I'm already too big to make the stupid weight class anyway. I weigh 195 pounds and I compete at 185. And I'm on HRT. So really, if I wanted to get bigger, I could just take more anabolics and I would get bigger. But I'm happy with the size. I'd like to snap my fingers and just be bigger and be natural too. That would be great. It's not the case, but I'm happy with what's happening, okay? So I just accept the fact that I want to be fit on the inside and on the outside, have a good heart, have good innards, and so I don't care that it's sacrificing muscle. There's more to life than just maximum muscle. I have enough muscle. There's enough. It doesn't benefit me in any way to have 5 more pounds of muscle. It's not like, oh, I have 5 more pounds of muscle. Now I'm a better person. No, I don't need it. Swole Beast wants to know, what's Jafar like in real life? And I don't know who Jafar is. So I don't know if that's an inside joke, but I'm answering it and saying I don't know who Jafar is.
Hey, Jafar! Shut up!
Joey Diaz wants to know, who is your favorite bodybuilder of all time? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Paul Perfecto wants to know, are calorie intake calculators really accurate? No. Michelle Tyroler says, should I as a woman train differently depending on the time of my menstrual cycle? No. Shezlov Zelensky says, have you ever pretended to fall asleep because you wanted someone to stop talking to you and blamed it on narcolepsy? No. Smack Daddy, do taller people really have a harder time putting on masks? No.
To me, trust me, guys, with the ladies, height matters. Height matters, all right?
Gidri Kaparatate wants to know, what's more harmful for gaining muscle? Lack of protein or lack of stimulus? They're exactly equal. Without protein, you can't build muscle, and with no stimulus for growth, you can't build muscle either. Equal, not gonna happen. Angel G from Corkyrie, what was being a stripper like? We want details. Okay, it was pretty cool. Honestly, it was fun. It's like, you have a bunch of people that are staring at you and having a good time because of what you're doing. So it kind of gives you a good feeling. So you feel accomplished. It's an ego boost for sure. You feel kind of like, wow, I can have this reaction on people. It's rather cool. So if I had to describe it, I would say it's kind of like doing a presentation to a group of people and you're telling jokes and they're liking it and you're like, wow, they're liking my jokes. Or when you're doing a speech to your class in school and you nailed the speech, or you did a presentation in school and you feel good, it's the same feeling except they're doing it because of kind of like how you look. So it's a similar feeling to like entering a bodybuilding contest and getting claps from the audience. So that's how it feels. Majay Al-Gami wants to know, for someone who wants to pursue a coaching career, is there any advice on how to start? I would say look the part and educate yourself as much as possible. Look the part. Probably more important than knowing anything. Look the part. If I look like shit, people wouldn't listen to me, even though I would know what I'm talking about, okay? Look the part and also learn. Banana Rama wants to know, when was the last time you were in a physical fight? That would have been a bar when some guy sucker punched me. Guy with a bunch of tattoos, 6'4", didn't see it coming, was just talking like this, hit me in the side orbital bone, put a dent in it, wasn't happy about it. All I did was I just shoved him, and then like the bouncers threw him out, and it was a big fiasco. So I don't know, it's kind of a fight, but not really, because I was like, what is happening? And the funny thing is, I remembered, I was like in the powerlifting meet, I was like, if I punch this person, I'm probably gonna break my knuckles. And I'm like, I don't wanna do that, because I have to lift weights. So literally, even at the bar drunk, I still had it in my brain that I can't punch people because everyone breaks their freaking fists. You punch somebody in the head, you're probably gonna hurt your fist more than the person's face, really. I mean, it depends, obviously, certain times it's okay. But, I mean, depends where you hit them. I'm not some fighter, boxer, I'm not into this stuff. So yeah, not for me. So that was the last and only time, in fact. TTG says, do you have any tips on reducing DOMs? Yeah, train less hard than last time. So don't train as hard. Now, once you've already got them, do light cardio. That's it. That's all you can do. Just don't get them in the first place. Keep going, keep pushing once another. Does creatine even matter? Yes. Creatine is about the only supplement. It's not the only, it's one of the only supplements that actually works that you should actually take. So creatine is still a go. It's a 2 thumbs up from Coach Greg. GregDoucette.com for coaching, Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, watch one of these 2 videos, and until next time, I am out.